I'm Jay.
I'm Colin.
And this is Star Wars
Conversations.
So, 2019, together again, huh?
We're back. We're back on the Falcon, Chewie. It's been a little while, Jay, but let's not dwell on the past.
Let's look to the future.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Switch up this week. I've got the news.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Less
when I say I've
regimented.
got the news, Jay,
Yeah.
what I actually mean is I've been looking on a few websites and I'm just going to pick some headlines and then we can try and talk about them.
Okay, let's do
How's
that.
that sound? Because to be fair, since the last time we had an episode, there's been so much news, I don't even know what we would have missed or haven't. So I'm going to pick some random things and then we'll just move on.
Whatever's interested you recently, let's talk about those things.
Alright. Shall I tell you what's interested me recently?
Go on.
Vader, Episode 1, Shards of the Past. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have. That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
Star Wars
basically a
Theory.
fan film made by Star Wars Theory.
Yeah. And this is his first face reveal as well.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
He plays Anakin.
He did play Anakin in the old Bacta tank.
Yeah, which I loved seeing that, by the way.
It was cool, wasn't it?
Because, you kind of saw that a little bit in Rogue One, but it was all, clouded with, smoke and stuff, do you know what I mean? And it is quite cool to see Anakin just hanging there and his limbs missing and,
So that was sort of a cool bit about Rogue One as well, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah,
That whole scene. Well, the whole Vader's castle and all that malarkey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we like, a bit of dark side energy, don't we?
Oh,
Jay?
yeah, totally.
Star Wars Theory, if you don't know, listeners, is a YouTube channel. He had loads of theories, but he's decided he was going to start trying to make this vision for story he had. He's made the first episode, and the intention is that he's going to try and raise as much money as he can to try and make the rest.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a bit gutted because I didn't realise that. I thought he actually...
I'm the same, actually. I didn't. I thought that it was a whole complete thing. So when it got to the end, Vader's standing there with that hole in the ground, and he lights his lightsaber, and I thought, oh, what's going to happen? And it's like the end. I'm like, what?
I mean,
it's like, oh, okay.
Basically, the story of it is it's just probably just straight after Order 66 and Vader being turned to Vader, and
I'll use the 5 first.
And he basically has this sort of daydream about attacking the Emperor, and then basically does try to. No, the Emperor calls him out on it, and then he sends him to Naboo to basically go and look for something, and he finds
Jedi in it.
Yeah, basically look for some Jedi. And the end of it is that you find it sounds a bit lame actually when I just want to
it's a weird thing because it is only like a beginning of a story, really, isn't it? And the thing about it cost him a lot of money to make.
You can see that though, it looked wicked.
Yeah, for a fan film it's really good. I didn't like Palpatine very much. I thought he kind of sucked.
The guy that played him.
Yeah, I didn't think he was very good. The voice of Vader. Now, there were 2 guys that were the shortlist. I actually think the other guy was better. And what it is with Vader is that there's little twitches and stuff in his voice that this guy misses. Yeah, and this guy misses those in some places.
They should have got you to do it, Jay.
They should have. But, in those bits, it feels like it's not James Earl Jones, it's not Vader. Do you know what I mean? It sounds wrong. It sounds like he's having a malfunction where he's starting to go slow. But that being said, overall it was really good, and it was a nice little side story there. It left you wanting to see what's going to happen next, which is that's cool. That's good.
The period it's set is actually an interesting period. I'm split a little bit because I don't want to know too much about Vader and his motivations and stuff because I want him to just be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But equally, I am intrigued because I love Revenge of the Sith. It's a great film, I think. And Vader's fall is the most iconic thing out of Star Wars, I think.
And it is a little bit rushed in Revenge of the Sith, his fall.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Also you don't really get, like, you see him as Vader, not in the armour.
Yeah, and I'd love to see more of that.
Yeah, it is. And it's interesting to see his early days as well, when you would expect Vader was being sent on more missions by the Emperor to do more stuff himself.
Well, it's funny that you say that, Jay, because that goes straight to my next story that I want to talk about.
One of those comics.
Yeah, which is about the comics. So, issue 25 of the Darth Vader Charles Soule series has just come out, I think, last couple of weeks, and that was the end of the series, to be fair.
Okay.
But that was a fantastic run. It was written by Charles Soule for most of it, I think for all of it actually, and Giuseppe Caronoli or someone, whatever his name was. I ain't ever going to get that right, so let's just not even pretend to try.
Giuseppe Caronoli.
Did most of the art, and it was just a wicked run. And like I say, I've talked about in previous episodes, it's all about Vader straight after him being turned into Vader, armoured Vader, and him learning how to get his lightsaber and how to turn his crystal, and the Emperor being a real to him and sending him on missions, and the last story arc was all about him building his fortress and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was real good. Real good. So that was great. And I don't know what it is, because I haven't seen I haven't got the story in front of me. I just saw it on a YouTube earlier. But they're actually releasing a new Star Wars Darth Vader comic soon. I don't know anything about who's writing it. Really rubbish actually on this story here. I can't remember what it was called, but it sounded really wicked. It's not like Vader Dark.
You see, here you go though. Like with the comics, they're gonna go into him so much, and what you were saying before, how you don't want to know too much, but you do want to know a bit. You just want to get these little snippets of Vader. Really, you just want things that make you go, man, Vader's like such a nasty badass. You know what I mean? You don't want it to be like a full story going into like his psyche and everything that goes on in his mind when he's in his meditation chamber, and then the way that you know what I mean. You don't want to go into everything. You just want to get little shots of him.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've just found the information on this comic I was thinking of. It's called Star Wars Vader Dark Visions. Who is Darth Vader? The fallen Jedi has been a symbol of power, a villainous commander, and a Sith warrior. But in 2019, a new limited comic series exposes the side of Vader that neither fan nor galaxy has ever seen before. Writer Dennis Hopelessness, he's alright.
Dennis Hopelessness?
Yeah, Hopelessness. Okay. Anyway, invites you to experience the all-new twisted adventures of the Dark Lord with artist Pablo Vanellinelli. He did a Milando Double or Nothing comic. Take us to the darkest parts of the galaxy when a mysterious anti-hero, you see he's not an anti-hero, known as Darth Vader. So maybe this is like maybe it's like an Elseworlds or something.
Alright, see, I'm not going to read this crap.
He's on a horse thing, and he's got a shield.
And see, this is the kind of that I hate, man. Because didn't they say that all of the comics are... Yeah, didn't they say that all of the comics are meant to be canon?
Yeah, but I think this is definitely some kind of Elseworlds.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like this is the kind of stuff I hate. This is where it's like, let's make let's cross over Star Wars with My Little Pony and have like Vader riding around with a unicorn.
I've seen the cover. It is sort of a unicorn.
There you go. See, so This is the stuff that this is why in my mind I just don't count any of the comics as canon. I just ignore them. Oh god, yeah. Well, they're trying to make him like Venger out of Dungeons and Dragons. Well, he does, I know.
Anyway, I'm excited because it's something different, Jay, and I like different things. So,
and it's got the Imperial logo on his shield.
Yeah, it's cool. Super cool, huh?
Yeah.
Are you interested in knowing about Lucasfilm is not developing Star Wars movies for the Disney Plus streaming service.
Yeah, I saw that, and that's fine. That's good.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, they're doing their series on there. They're going to have they've currently got 2 series on there, and they've got probably some new animations coming out that will be added to it. I'd expect there to be a whole bunch of that stuff. And it's Disney streaming service. It's not just Star Wars. It's going to be a whole bunch of other things too. So
there's a lot of Star Wars going to be on it.
Yeah.
I mean, well, let's talk about the Mandalorian.
Okay.
What do you know about it?
Mandalorian.
I know that IG-88 is going to appear.
And apparently there's a Trandoshan who looks like Bosk has been seen on the set as well. So for me, the Mandalorian, I am looking forward to it.
Because it's set up straight after Jedi, isn't it?
I think it's a few years. It's like 7 years after or something like that.
Probably the same time as the books, the Aftermath books.
The thing with it is that I am looking forward to it. I love the guy that's playing the lead character. Was it the Viper from Game of Thrones?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's playing the Mandalorian. Oh. But we had a little chat about this recently, and the thing for me is, and I know a lot of people disagree with this, but I want that main character to end up being Fett, just because, right? And I'm all for like new cool characters and all that kind of stuff, but so Boba Fett was always sold to us as he was meant to be the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy, and this mysterious legend and all this kind of stuff, right? And in the days where he was around, Bosk was around, IG-88, all those guys, they were all around, right?
Yeah.
And then all you ever get of Fett is he does nothing and falls down a hole, and then he's dead, and all these other ones are still around. So basically, he's just like actually the crappiest bounty hunter of them all. He just has nice clothes.
He does have nice clothes.
He does have nice clothes, but
this is Taylor.
But then in the Aftermath books, right? Didn't they allude to that he might still be alive out there somewhere? Like that his armor was found by some Jawas. And
this is where I don't know whether it ties in or not, because basically there's a million different things going on in the Aftermath books, and I found it a little bit confusing. But from what I could understand was someone finds the armour that's all burnt and mashed up on Tatooine. Now, whether or not it's Boba Fett or not...
But wasn't there meant to be something like... And then they see some figure that like they think it's him and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, whatever that part is, the armor that's being used here as well looks very similar to they were going to do a game ages ago called 1313, and it was cancelled. Do you remember that? And there was the artwork that came out for it, and Boba Fett was wearing slightly different armor. It was his armor, but it was silver because obviously it was Jango's before, and then he had like the brown leather bits on it, which kind of look how this guy looks, right? Also, this guy's got that gun that Boba Fett had in the holiday special when he first appeared, right? So those things say to me, and if it's not Fett, it will kind of piss me off a little bit, because it's almost like, how we said, like, with episode 8, they're kind of going, hey, all you old fans, this ain't for you, go f*** yourselves. And it's almost like that. It's like, yeah, that one that's meant to be cool, he's not that cool. But this new guy, our new guy, he's the best one. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, come on, man, like, make it, that's why I want it to be fair. And if it wasn't for the fact that it was all playing out like that, then I'd be cool with a new character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of want it to, in a way, redeem this character that was sold as this great character, and yet he just fell down a hole and was never heard from again. And then you still got all the other bounty hunters. They all survive. They're all badass. And it's just like, yeah, come on, man, like, give him his due. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with it. However, I'm interested to see what they do with it. Jon Favreau's written it, and they've got a whole bunch of good directors on there, and Dave Filoni, so I'm not including him in that. But let's see what comes of it. Hopefully it's not childish and it goes in a good direction. And there's no talking giant foxes in it.
Oh, I don't mind talking fox.
That teleport.
Yeah, I must admit, I've avoided all information about it, to be honest, until today. So I'm not that excited about it. I'm sure by the time it actually comes out, I will be.
One of the things that that it does make me quite excited about it is that, and also I haven't read too much on it, but all the things I've seen kind of make it look like, you know, a Western, bounty hunters, Westerns, that all goes hand in hand, and it looks like that kind of thing, which I like. That's the bits, some of the bits of Star Wars I really love, you know.
Yeah. See, I'm more lightsabers and Jedi's than I am
Yeah, see,
Westerns.
And I don't really want there to be too much of that, because the odd one, you know, like if you go back to the Old Republic and stuff like that, yeah, you know, there'll be loads of them kicking around, but I don't want there to be like loads of people flying around with lightsabers and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
the thing is, right, what the cool thing is like in an area where there is no Jedi's, then suddenly one pops up. That's what was good about. That's what's good about New Hope and the original trilogy.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's what was good about the beginning of Rebels, because it was about someone who had the slight force and a hiding Jedi.
But if they keep popping up, then there's loads of them.
Well, yeah.
You know, and I don't want that to be the case. And I know that they're going to start to rebuild and all that.
It depends when whatever the thing is set and where it's set.
Well, we know when it's set.
Yeah, I know that for this particular one. I'm just saying generally. You know, you could have a Jedi pop up anywhere, couldn't you? Any time, at any.
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That would be interesting to me.
But I think, you know, with it being, I'm sure that at some point there'll be a lightsaber turn up. But with it being a series, you know, everything doesn't need to be that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got the movies where you've got Kylo Ren and Rey and all these guys flying around with their lightsabers. So there are other things in the Star Wars universe, and the bounty hunters are quite an interesting side story. And maybe they'll hunt down a Jedi at some point.
What I'm a little bit concerned about this year, 2019, is there's a lot of stuff coming out, isn't there, or being announced. I don't know if it will all be out this year. I mean, like, we've got obviously Episode 9, then you've got, that's at the end of the year, but we've got the
Clone Wars
to be a new series of that. We've got Resistance Season 2.
I haven't watched Season 1.
No, I haven't either. Rubbish. Mandalorian.
I don't think that's coming out this year, though, is it?
Well, yeah.
Is it this year?
They're filming it now. It'll be out by the autumn, won't it?
I can't remember what the release date is. I'm sure there's a release date out.
It'd be one of the key launch things for the Disney Plus, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, but I don't know what the release date for it is. Look.
You have a look.
Then you've got the Cassian Andor
the
TV show.
Andor thing's been announced.
December 2019 they're going for, so right at the end of the year. But they say
Episode 9 comes out on the 20th.
They say expect a 2020 release date at the very earliest. So next year, yeah. Cassian Andor, that could be quite interesting. You know, you got the same Diego Luna's playing his part, and you know what I quite liked about that was in Rogue One, you know, they showed you a little bit, but also you could see that he was a very torn character, because what I liked there was that the rebels aren't squeaky clean. You know, they've done some dirty shit, you know, and he's been made to do things that maybe go against what his real morals and beliefs are, but for the greater good, you know, that kind of stuff. So that would be quite interesting to see, like, a bit more of that character and what he had to do to get to where we met him. You know, I'm quite interested to see what they do with that show. That could be quite cool. And you know, I loved Rogue One, so I'm happy to see a bit more of him.
Yeah, I think that. I don't know. I think it'd be okay.
Might see him meet K2, which would be cool. We get, you know, Aaron Tudyk back doing the voice.
The way I'm sort of finding it is that most of these things that are announced recently are things I've never asked for, never wanted.
Well, yes.
And let's see what happens. You know, like Solo, I enjoyed. Wasn't the best film in the world, but I enjoyed it.
So I loved Solo. I thought it was awesome. But again, yeah, I had never asked for a Han Solo movie, but I really enjoyed it. And I was actually sad that people didn't go out to watch it and it didn't do well, because I kind of want to know what's going to happen afterwards, and I don't want them to dress it in a comic or a book, because I won't ever read it.
Well, this is what I mean. We've talked about this before, but I would love to see a a set of films, not necessarily just about Solo, but about Boba Fett, about Darth Maul, about whoever, Obi-Wan, all set in that same period. I did wonder whether or not that could tie in with the Cassian Andor film, but it's a bit. That's another 10 years later, isn't it? So probably not. But well, I mean, I don't know. How old do you reckon Cassian is?
Well, it depends, because I mean, it depends how far before Rogue One they set it.
Yeah.
You know.
How
He must have been in his early 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how long do you reckon he could play himself 10 years earlier, and we'd believe it?
Well, nowadays with like makeup and a bit of visual effects, they can sort that out. It'd be good
if they did. If they set it at the same time of Solo or just after Solo, that'd be
wicked. Yeah.
And then they could pick up the whole Darth Maul storyline.
Well, I mean, if they did that, he'd be in his 20s, so I don't see why they couldn't do that.
That'd be wicked, actually.
Yeah. So it's possible.
Well, that could be the way forward. And Aldrin could turn up in it.
And I'm just guessing that was his age, but you know, I think he's probably in his early 30s. He looked like he is anyway, unless he's just had a really bad life.
Well, he has had a bad life.
Yeah. So he's actually 19.
He had a bad death as well.
Yeah, right.
Unlucky. Spoiler alert. So talking about Resistance earlier.
Yeah.
Neither of us have watched it. Well, I saw the first episode. Is it something you think you will give a go or not? Or are you just going to completely ignore it?
I don't know, man. Like, I quite liked how the art style looks. Although we did talk about the thing where they haven't put any outlines, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, the problem these days is that there's a lot of stuff they put out that just looks like a load of shit to me, and I can't be bothered with it. You see, when there's so many good things out there to watch, you know, I don't want to give my time up to something that I feel like I'd be forcing myself to watch.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like what I'd be doing there. Even like with Clone Wars, I'm not even excited that Clone Wars is coming back. I'm like, oh God, great.
I'm interested to see what happens. I'm interested.
You know, like I think I said to you before, you know, it's a weird thing that happened to me with episode 8, and when I watched it in the cinema and I came out, I feel like I tried to convince myself
it was good.
Yeah, because I came out of it, and you know, like when I watched episode 7, which I watched the other day, I still love watching, right? And I came out of it, I was like, oh, that was awesome. And I know people go, oh, but it's just A New Hope. But okay, A New Hope was a popular movie, right? And it's a good one to base it on. And it isn't exactly like A New Hope. It has like its own elements. But yeah, okay, it used the beats and kind of got you there the same way. But I enjoyed it. When I watched episode 8, I came out of it and I was like, yeah, I liked that. And I felt like I was questioning myself. And I mean, I'm sure there's past podcasts where I was like, yeah, no, it was good, you know, and I liked that.
We did like it.
Yeah, and I did, and I watched it about 3 or 4 times in the cinema, and I was like, no, but every time I came out of there, I felt the same way, which was like, yeah, I liked that. And then I got it on Blu-ray, and I've told the story before. It got to May the 4th, and my wife was like, hey, you haven't put on that new Star Wars movie that you got. Why don't we watch it? Now, bear in mind, when 7 came out, put it straight in. Yeah. Rogue One, put it straight in. Solo, straight in. This one, I waited. May 4th, okay, cool. I watched half the movie, and I had to force myself to get halfway through. And then I was like, I'm going to bed. And I switched it off, and I haven't put it back in since.
Even and I just exactly the same. I'm halfway through it. I haven't watched it.
No interest in watching it, right? But for me, it's made me uninterested in a lot of stuff they're putting out. And episode 9, and I know that JJ's back, and that's a good thing.
See,
but I'm not even excited for episode 9.
See, I'm just getting excited for episode 9. Let's talk about episode 9.
I hope that nearer the time I start getting excited. I hope that like they put out a trailer, or I start seeing, you know, some pictures online or something, and then it starts to get my excitement. Because as it is, I don't care. I'll go and watch it. Of course, I'll go and watch it, but I feel like I don't care.
Since I think the beginning of December, they've been every other day. There's been a story about the new trailer's coming out, the teaser trailer's coming out. Today when I was doing a bit of research for our lovely podcast, I looked on YouTube, and literally there was just a list, and it was like same couple of people every day had released a video saying news about the trailer.
Oh, God, yeah.
But the big consensus is that it's gonna be released at Super Bowl.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's in February.
And don't forget, that's only going to be beginning of February, and that's only going to be
a teaser
trailer one. It's going to be very short.
Well,
it'll either be at Super Bowl or it'll be in March at Captain Marvel.
And then
they want to get people to go out and watch that one.
11th of April, we've got Celebration as well.
Yeah, so it's
definitely be something that comes out by Celebration.
Yeah.
Now, to be honest, I ain't bothered. Force Awakens was advertised ages before the film came out, but Last Jedi really wasn't.
No, and Force Awakens, they wanted to get you, hey, look, Star Wars is coming back.
What people are saying are that Episode 9 is going to be the end of the Star Wars the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big story. It's going to, and there's all these rumours. I guess most of it's, fanboy wants, really.
Yeah.
But, like I say, I haven't actually read any of these spoilery type things because I don't want to know any actual spoilers. But I'd like to know the roughly what we're getting, but I don't want any spoilers.
I think that JJ will, if we go by 7 compared to 8, I think it'll have a bit more pace. Yeah. I think he's better at making it a bit more upbeat, faster pace.
There's a lot to wrap up.
There's a lot to wrap up and a lot to fix potentially. Who knows where they're going with it. But watching episode 7 again the other day, and it really did feel like a lot of stuff that's in there just kind of became pointless because of episode 8.
Well, we all know episode 8 was part of 2.
There's a lot of people in the group that disagree with that.
Well, they're wrong. The thing is, there's some good bits in episode 8, and I even like, there's some funny bits, and I like Luke. What I just don't like is that that's the version that's canon.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? And it is kind of a shame because Mark Hamill even didn't agree with the direction they're going. He ended up going along with it, but
he played the game.
He's said numerous times that he didn't agree, and he always makes a point of putting that comment in there, doesn't he?
He does.
I told them that I didn't agree with it. So, was that a case of before it came out, he was like, people are going to hate this?
He knew that. He knew right from Celebration 2016 that fans are going to be disappointed with it.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I hope they do something good with 9. I hope that, and one of the things that I was looking at on 7 was Hux, right? Because he's like a dictator kind of mean bastard, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like comic relief in 8, and I'm like, I hope that they fix that and make him not comic relief again.
I don't even know if he'd be in it.
Well, why wouldn't he be? He's not dead
because
at 8.
I think to be honest, I think they need to distance themselves from what some things they can't fix.
Yeah, but come on, position-wise, he's like right next to Kylo Ren.
No, but Kylo Ren took over at the end of 8.
Yeah, he did, but he's still like the top guy after Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
so
there's a million top guys.
You could just have Kylo Ren like kill him right at the beginning of the movie.
Eddie Hitler could come back and take over.
Maybe, yeah.
No, he got blew up.
What's that?
He got blown up, but.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Sad.
But yeah, maybe I don't know. There's just a few things I'd like to see kind of fixed there, and apparently Princess Leia's going to have her role's going to be quite big and intact.
It's going to be a big ad, isn't it?
Yeah. Her brother said that her role's going to be quite intact, and it's going to be as it was written and stuff. So I don't know.
Don't know how just film it in the dark or in a snow scene. So.
Whenever she's on, you just don't see it. Yeah. Have an impressionist.
To be honest, they could do it. Why not? It's a bit like.
Because people would hate that.
Yeah, but it's still better than compromising the story, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that. I just think that. They have lots of footage that was filmed for different stuff that apparently hasn't been used, and they're going to use that. And I suppose they'll be able to use a bit of digital editing to fix, they can reposition, you and maybe put a body double in for some bits and have
copy
her
and
face
paste.
on it. Yeah, so
You know,
it'd be interesting to see what they do. But yeah, I just want
the same bit. Yeah.
Right, yeah, every time it's the same bit, yeah. She's got a different background. Right, yeah.
We're in Delaware.
I don't know, I just hope they put something out soon that starts getting me excited for it, because I'm just not.
I am excited. I'm getting excited, Jay, and I'm going to excite you. It's going to be my mission to weekly excite you from now on.
Okay.
I'm going to tickle your fancy.
We shall see.
Yeah, we shall.
I'm sure nearer the time I'll be excited. And of course I want opening night tickets. And now that I live near you, we can go and watch it together.
Yay!
So that too.
Pass popcorn. Before we finish up today's episode, Jay, I'm just going to say I want to talk about Star Wars Celebration 2019. I'm going. I'm excited. Ooh.
First time in the US as well.
I know, man. How exciting is it? It's going to be wicked. I'm going to see Wendy, our old chum from Double Pace Spread.
Awesome.
Catching up with her. She's offered to let me hang out with her. I'm also seeing my old mate Mike Norton. So that's going to be wicked. I'm going to have a good old.
You're going to have a wonderful time. You're going to have such a good time. It's going to be a
flying visit though. Literally flying straight in. Celebration for 4 days. Fly out again.
You'll have an amazing time. It'll still be great. You'll love it.
I'm trying to work out how I can fit my costumes in my hand luggage.
Maybe make one out. I've got a stack of cardboard for you, by the way. But maybe make one when you're out there. Get Wendy to get some boxes ready for you.
The other thing was I could post it to Wendy or Mike.
Ah, there you go.
That's what I'm thinking.
You could do that, yeah. That's a good idea.
If you've got any ideas for what my next costume could be, considering I've got to roll it up and take it on an airplane, please write in, guys.
Yeah. Have you done a Kylo Ren?
I haven't done the Kylo Ren.
You could do a Kylo Ren.
That's the thing, actually.
Or do a Bosk.
I've done
Vader.
Bosk. Oh, Bosk.
That'd be cool.
Bosk is the one. I'm going to write it down. That was the one I was thinking of the other day. Well done, Jay.
I think that'd be a great one.
I was thinking of Bosk. So I might take my Chewbacca and my Bosk.
I was going to say, have you done Bosk already?
No, I'm going to make a Bosk.
So just use the Gorn head. Easy. Use the Gorn head that you made for the Star Trek one.
I can make long arms as well with toilet rolls.
There you go.
He's got well long arms.
He has got long arms.
Yeah. Okay, look. Short little episode, getting us, easing us back in, chums. What do we say at the end? I can't remember, it's been so long. We tell people about how to find us.
They can find us all over the internet. YouTube, iTunes, Soundcloud, Stitcher.
Yeah, Stitcher.
And the TaylorNetwork of podcasts.
Basically, the TaylorNetwork. We're back, baby.
And also, you can find us on Star Wars Conversations, the Facebook group where it all started.
Instagram and Twitter at Star Wars Convo.
There you go.
Cool. It's like riding a bike, Jay.
I think it's much more fun, just all haphazard.
It's a Star Wars conversation. That's what it's all about, Jay.
That's right. That's what it's all about.
So you guys join in the conversation. Tweet us, Instagram us, Facebook us, email us.
Until next time.
Punch it, Chewie.
May the Force be with you.
Hi, my name's Ray Park. You may know me or not, but I played Darth in The Phantom Menace and Maul in Solo, Toad in X-Men, and the best ninja in the world in G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra and Retaliation. And you're listening to Star Wars Conversations. So I hope you're talking good about me, because if you're not, I'll find you, because I'm obsessed. May the Force be with you.